It's getting weird. It's getting weird. But welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. We're jumping into another streaming weekend. I see chat's already getting going, and we're going to be jumping into some Phobies, of course. We might have some variety later, but we'll play it by ear. So let's jump in, chat. What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing out there? Like I said, I see chat's already being lively. Already, I see there's a Phobie movie being discussed. Honestly, so somebody else, I was poking through, I forget if it was Ask the Devs or it was the feedback channel or something, but somebody else was asking about the origin and the lore and the backstory for the Phobies themselves. And I still think it would be cool to have something official. As far as I can tell, the official stance, we'll say, is just that they are, you know, figments of your imagination kind of thing. So they can be just about anything you want it to be, which is fine. You know, like that. I know other people feel differently. I'm not one of those people that, like, I want to know what the actual set, this is what it is. I know a lot of people prefer the mystery and, you know, the open-endedness of those sort of things. You know, they're the sort of people that go into a horror movie and it's, well, when you don't see the monster, it's more scary. It's like, no, I can't be scared of something that I can't, it doesn't interact with me in any way. It's like, oh, it's going to show up and kill me. Well, guess what? If it just kills me and, like, I don't even have a chance to think about it, how can I even be scared? Like, that, it's just weird. I don't know, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. But anyway, chat. Anyway, more relevant Phobie stuff. We do have a weekly map rotation. I forgot which ones left the map pool. We can double check. But we do have Ergo and Mysomania coming back. I don't know about Ergo. I don't know. Sitting on a lot of resources, pack opening plan. Yep. Pack opening happens once a season. Once a season. So in a couple days, at least at the time of this recording. It's funny because I was just doing some recordings for the end of last season now. Like, I was finishing the recordings and the edits, and they're up on YouTube and scheduled. They're not even going up next week. They're going up the week after, so it'll be way after. The timing doesn't even necessarily line up that it's like end of last season for this season. It's like it'll line up eventually because they're just like off kilter a little bit. But yeah, I sit on the resources. I don't really like opening packs. It kind of bores me. Now at this point, realistically, I have a good portion. Like, there's still a lot of Phobies to get. Quick aside, everybody, before we get into the actual content, I was accepted into the Phobies Content Affiliate Program, the content creator program, you might call it. Shout out to the Phobies team, and thank you for that. But the reason I'm telling you, everybody out there, dear viewer, dear listener, is to let everybody know that I do receive some compensation from the Phobies team as a result of being part of that program. Now, I loved Phobies before, and I still love Phobies now, and I expect I will still continue to love Phobies in the future. So look forward to more Phobies content coming from Random's Thoughts. So now, on with the show. But honestly, any new Phobie that I get, unless it's a tractor, unless it's something like that, they're not going to be great for me because it's going to take so long to get them up to a feasible level. Like, most of my stuff is around 10 right now, and a few things that are north of 10. So if I open a Phobie, you know, like arbitrarily Alistor, just because I'm looking at it, I open Alistor, and then how long is that going to take it to get into a relevant state? As compared to, say, an Attractor, where at least, okay, well, the Attractor, I don't care necessarily. I mean, I care about the numbers, but the important part is the yoink. But an Alistor is 100% a numbers-based Phobie, so it's just going to be tough. I'm about to start explaining why you should open terrifying packs and get Rusty and Bad Suit. I mean, don't get me wrong, I want all the Phobies, but I don't know. I mean, it's funny. Like I said, I was just doing that recording, and I was talking about opening Bad Sushi last season, because I'm kind of due for, if I'm going to open new ones, that they're going to be bad, because we've been very fortunate so far. And, you know, we're eventually going to get them. But I do want those Phobies, and Bad Sushi I'm willing to try, but The problem with bad sushi is, again, that's a numbers phobia. It needs a lot of health so it can tank those hits and get into position. If it's made of paper, you know, your opponent's just going to annihilate it before it does anything. Am I planning on leaving reviews for Sunday? We're probably going to do a few, Silver, because timing-wise, I think, and I was going to talk about this on Sunday, I'm going to do some reviews Sunday still, but next season, I'm going to try and do the whole Sunday is review day thing for all the reasons I talked about before, and I'll re-explain it then. But because we're going to be doing the pack opening, that typically takes about an hour. Sundays are my shorter day, so if that takes up half the stream, I can't get... There's just mathematically, I'm not going to get through all the reviews, so we're going to have to do some tonight and tomorrow, which is fine. Bad sushi and paddles, honestly, I'm willing to try it, Rodizio. I'm not opposed to it. I just noticed Vendy vomits out gold instead of it falling out of his body. Yeah, Vendy does some weird stuff if you watch Vendy. Vendy does some weird stuff. I don't know. How do you feel about the chat or YouTube? Let me know down in the comments if you're watching this on YouTube. But do you want to see a Vendy phobia? Or part of me wants Vendy to be just a plushie and never actually be in the game. Oh, I know I don't have paddles yet, but I do. I mean, bad sushi's probably going to be dead to me until paddles, right? I mean, look at this. We discussed this before. This has come up many, many times. But based on... We've had multiple pack openings, because again, content affiliate, they give me stuff. Namely coffee. They give me 8,000 coffee roughly each season. And in conjunction with playing through the season and stuff like that, I end up with another 1,000 to 2,000 depending on how things shape up. Here's the thing. That gives me somewhere around 500,000 experience. This is the biggest problem. Not getting the phobies, but getting the phobies to the appropriate levels. Namely, and you can group it as stress level, right? It takes me like not three quarters of a million. I was just like 375,000 or so to go from one level to the next at this stage. I can't even imagine what it's like. We're going to get Oopsie Baby relatively soon, but it is going to be several more seasons before I get Yeti. Because if you assume each season, now I'm getting experience from playing games, right? You know, I'm doing all the usual stuff, but it's going to take me, you know, if you get, we'll even say 2 levels a season due to me opening the Dreadful packs, or, you know, the equivalent of 8K coffee worth, 8 to 10K coffee. 1 season, 2 seasons, 3 seasons, 4 seasons, 5 more seasons before we get to Yeti, and, you know, that assumes that we get through this quickly. What? What does that mean, dogewhal? I spent way too much to get 107 phobies, but the key is, are you enjoying it? I mean, that sounds like a cop-out, and again, content affiliate, so if it sounds like a cop-out, I mean, you can attribute it to that, but, like, I'm fine with people spending money for their own entertainment. I mean, you know, within your means. Don't, like, if you know you have a problem, and I'm not saying you do, chat, or anybody out there specifically, I'm not calling somebody out, but, like, it's like when you're driving in the US, I don't know if they have this in other countries, but they have a lot of billboards in certain areas about drinking or gambling problems and things like that, and this is really no different, where if you know that you are burning cash for something, even if you're getting that thrill, it's like, okay, you gotta take a step back. And I've mentioned, and it's worth discussing in the context of this, because as we were just talking about the amount of XP and the coffee and all this stuff, I still think Phobies needs to do something systemic to fix their economy. I think the economy is a serious issue. Starting with Arena, Arena or Review, I'm gonna jump into Arena. I want to play some games. Like I said, we will mix in some, because you're the first on the list, dogewhal. Yes, you're the first on the list. So we will definitely be doing yours tonight at the very least, because it is a subscriber. I don't think anybody else on the list is a sub. Maybe Savadas? I don't know if Savadas still is. Not everybody has connected their stuff in Twitch. or their Twitch to Discord, so I can't necessarily check. But if anybody's curious what we're talking about, if you want to get your own games reviewed like I usually do, then hit up the Random Thoughts Discord. It'll be in the link in the video description, like it always is. And I try to give subscribers, Twitch subscribers that is, priority to make sure that we at least do one of their games a weekend. Everybody else, if there's a ton of them, you just got to wait your turn. Got to give something to the subs, right? I don't have a whole lot else to offer, so I give them a little bit of priority. That would be a problem if I was an actual big streamer and I had tons and tons and tons of subs. I guess it's the silver linings of being a little guy. I don't know that Chuck is better. I think they're just different. He at least has the range to do something. I mean, so does Heavo. The thing is that they're better for, like, they're good in different situations. So Heavo's better in, obviously, when they have stuff clustered. It's actually pretty decent for that map. Chuck is also significantly more fragile. Obviously, it kind of has to be. I sometimes forget the spider's pull has damage. Well, I mean, I don't forget. Well, I guess I forgot there. It isn't really, like... It's something I'm consciously aware of, but I clearly didn't account for it. That's a weird map for lobbers. It's actually pretty decent because the lobbers... Like, you can't fear lava. That's the thing. Yes, you want to avoid standing on lava if you can help it, but... You don't want to... Like, you can't shy away from it. Obviously, but for a 3-range Phobie, 2k health by level 5 is very good. I mean, there's only, what, 2 other ones to compare it to? So, like, I guess. 2k health is fine, but 2k health can get evaporated. Like, for example, yes, Heavo died there only because I was very careless with it. Honestly, if I move the Heavo one down, like one space down, it probably lives. Or if I, you know, like if I position it differently, then the whole game changes, obviously. If you do things different, then the game changes. But the good news is we get to show off, or I get to try in real time at least, not necessarily show off, but a new game plan. Shout out to DT for this. We're going to try a little Gravedigger stuff. Yeah, I don't know if I'd put Honey Bear in the 3-range bucket. Like, I get why. But it's not really a 3-range Phobie, right? So if we go here, can they even hit us? You could leap 6, 7, 8. It's possible they kill the snowball with this and a murder wing. So we'll play it safe. It is sucky gaming. It's true. But yeah, I mean, I don't... Is Chuck better than Heavo 3.0? I mean, maybe. In a vacuum, I would probably prefer to have Chuck rather than Evo. But I don't know that it's necessarily worse. I think the game plans might be more obvious. The thing is that Heavo exerts a different influence on your opponent's game plan. I have Chuck. He's what I call a slightly better Jar. I mean, Jar is better, but I don't know if it's only slightly. I'll explain why in a second. Just in time, DT. Evo 3 in small maps is busted. Arguably, any 9-key on a small map is busted. I agree, because obviously Heavo has the AoE, but we've seen Chuck put to great use by Vazy, for example, on Crypto. Smother Mother is just oppressive no matter where it is, kind of. I definitely get the argument about Heavo 3.0 on small maps, but by the same token, if you're able to bank to 9 keys on a small map, you've clearly put yourself in a good position anyway, right? Just noticed the sucky. It didn't give it away when everybody goes, it's sucky gaming. Actually, I think we'd rather still have it here when they take this center point. This will let us get more surface area, though. No, this is fine, because it can go here. I think this is fine. His movement range is what holds him back part of the time. Him also being a zombie is good and bad. Yeah. I mean, a sheep is not an unreasonable answer to chuck if you can get it to connect, but the problem is getting it to connect. Just notice the 9 keys are actually pretty basic ideas. I'm fine with like a bell curve of, you know, your early game stuff is plain, and then your late game stuff is also somewhat plain, and then the middle is where things are more interesting. Because it can get somewhat dangerous with some of this stuff. Normally, I'd want the stabby here, but I don't want to walk it into the teeth of everything, if I can help it. Smiley sucky, interesting. I mean, the smiley here kind of makes sense. Small map. I have a ton of stuff that is super susceptible to it. I get it. Poison isn't really bad in my experience. It is and it isn't. Like, it can be problematic, but yes, generally I'm not personally a fan of poison as an answer to dimensionals and other things like that. It just tends to not work out very well. We'll see if this plan works out. I'm not sold yet. They have 7 keys banked, by the way. That's why I don't think Poison's a good answer for Chuck. He's at least getting 1k damage out of that first tick of healing. Yes and no, because Chuck can... Like, you can avoid it to a degree. It depends on the map. Like, you can run away from the Chuck, get it into range. Your opponent commits forward to get value out of it, and then you collapse on it to kill it, sort of thing. Is that necessarily reasonable all the time? No, of course not. This is a little awkward. We do this. Is that enough? That should be enough damage. I don't know if this was a good idea, but we're doing it. Oh, that wasn't enough damage! Ugh. Why was it not enough damage? It was at like 360 something, 235. It must have been like 370. Oof, that's not good. We're gonna get obliterated here. I thought this thing was gonna die. I would have killed it with this. Otherwise, I mean, does it matter? I don't know. In a game now, we're on Monday versus Ivy Unicorn. Only traps I hit were 1 keys. I mean, that's how you want to do it if you have to, right? Funny enough, Chuck can't kill a sheep immediately unless buffed or by another Phobies help. Fair. That's not worth it. They also have all 3 panic points. This is really bad. Starting off the night with a lot of L's, chat. My own doing, of course, but not encouraging. Nox is a budget diver. I mean, yeah, I could see it. I mean, everything's better if you let your enemy come to you, right? Basically, every poison is AoE except spiders and ivy. I don't even remember, like, what other ones are there? Same principles, ivy gotta predict their movements to get a... I guess. This poll is online, isn't it? Yeah, it is. How much does this do? You can move up. You gotta do something risky. Nox and Creep are the only range poison? Sounds right. Attractor's a pain in the ass. Yeah, Attractor's really good. Attractor is really good. Arguably better than my, than this on this map. Than my Repeller. I had some success offline with it. Ivy has range trap. I guess. I mean, I see what you're saying. So, they also have some traps up here because they had the unicorn out for a little while. They could have a trap in the center as well. I'll argue with Lemon till death that Ivy is the best trap. Oh, Ivy is the best poison. I mean, I can see the argument. Temptress is mid and currently staying mid as we speak. So this dies there. I don't have time to figure out a new plan. Not enough time. So this is just gonna die unless... I mean, they could sink an attack into it or something, I guess, but... Or 45. So they can't quite kill this, which I wasn't quite banking on, but it worked out. What's funny is I'm going to cap a point on their turn. How weird is that, chat? I can't even think of a time where that's happened to me before. This might be a first. They're underleveled? Yeah, it seems like it. Level 6. Level 3. Oh, the Stabby's level 9. I didn't look at the other Phobies. 4. Oh, yeah, they're underleveled. I think when a poison phobia that survives to actually poison more than 1 or 2 things, I think is Ivy. Oh, I see what you're saying, dogewhal, yeah. It's a key less and has 50 less damage, 50 less health, more damage, same mobility, but not flying. So you're saying it's different. Now that we're no longer in danger of heart damage, like, I feel kind of bad, because I don't think I played this super well, but... I mean, our opponent was underleveled. If you say things are different, they're in fact different. Deep Thoughts with Jack Handy. Anybody remember that? But it keeps the good aspects of its counterpart, Venus. Good health, good melee, range trap. I mean, Venus isn't bad itself. I don't think Venus is bad. Alright, they're doing the honorable thing here. Shout out to my opponent. Chat, you'll have to let me know if the stuff on the bottom, the lower third stuff, is obscuring anything of relevance. I think we're okay. GG! Alright, we avenged our loss from earlier. Avenged the loss from earlier. Scrungle, that sounds like you're ready to lose all your points. Alright, chat. So, I did want to check, and unless chat wants to watch the rest of this game, there's a dozer on the board. Was this like a weird quest game? How did a dozer end up on the board? What did I miss, chat? Oh, this is a sick play. Wait, what? Okay, we may want to watch the end of this game. This is actually pretty cool. The dozer actually locked something in place. Like, how often does that happen?
I feel like we've connected.
So Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope has two story DLCs according to Nintendo eShop, meaning either the Rayman DLC comes in 2 parts, or there are 2 story DLC, meaning either 2-part Rayman DLC or Rayman plus unknown character DLC. That's a lot of information, Taco, and I'll be honest, I'm not quite sure how to parse it. Like, I didn't play any of those games. I think I've talked about this before. I've fallen out of love with platformers years ago. I just don't really like it. Ivy has 350 less health than Venus at base in exchange for mobility and a poison on trap. It's still high enough that it's probably worth it. Not enough damage to kill Matic. I think that's why the block movement. Yes, absolutely on it. But it's just funny that it even happened at all. The hair. It's pretty cool that there's a dozer on the board and it matters. It's not just, oh, the game. Well, I don't know. I didn't watch the early part of the game because I was BRB, but like, this is a dozer that's actually doing things. It's 1450. For 3 cost, that might be a little on the low side. Because the thing is Venus works almost as a turret. It can't because it's not ranged, but it's close. The dozer attack is fantastic. Hey, Kraos, what's good? Gamer's in, like, complete control of this game at this stage. Oh, the dozer died. Where the hell did the dozer die? There must be a trap here or something. Oh, maybe not. Maybe it was just that low. I didn't realize how much it got hit. Dozer's popping off. But dozer got value. You cannot argue with the dozer value on this. Also, second game that we've seen a sucky. Like, real talk, I don't mind Sucky. I'm starting to come around on the idea of it, but I need to level it up. The level I have it at is just unplayable. It's just not going to work. I like Sucky, but it's hard to really consider Sucky when you have Cassowary. I mean, yes, the idea is that Sucky is so tanky that it's difficult to deal with. I got the spider when I got back to play. Nice. Pull gaming. You love to see it. Yeah, the HP on Sucky is just huge. I mean, this is 1,400 health. We were talking about Venus, who's a 3 cost that has 1,400 health. Like, Cass is a glass cannon. Yeah. Yeah, if you have rough... Like, if you're roughly on level, that's fair. That's fair. I really should level this up, but I need to think about, like, what is the game plan with Sucky? Because Cassowary, because of the mobility, you can just kind of throw it out there and make something happen. Sucky, I feel and as well as, like, the turrets, you have to base your game plan around them. Is Sucky fatter than K9? I think Sucky has more health than K9. I mean, my K9's leveled up. Yeah, Sucky at level 4 has almost 100 more HP than K9. 1417 at level 4, 1363 at level 9. That's a lot of health. It's a lot of HP, chat. All the hit points. I don't know, that seems possible. Maybe there's something to it, and maybe it's not a meme. Maybe it's not a meme. Look, I'm open to adapting. I've been realizing, like, before we do the game replay, I guess we'll talk about this. So, the last few days, like the last week, because there's been a bunch of variety games that I've been playing. Well, not variety game, but, like, most of them came, well, all of them came out yesterday. Like Metal Hellsinger and Unmatched, which I play in real life, so I guess I've been playing that for a while. And Four Tales, which I haven't played yet because I've been playing the other ones. And, of course, Rumbleverse and stuff like that. I don't want to say that my competitive drive for Phobies has dropped off because I still love competition. I still love tournaments. I still want to do Friday Night number 4 and stuff. But I'm more open to just the experimentation with different things to try and find different strategies and things. I'm coming at it with a different attitude because I still want to be, like, my goal for any game that I played where I produce content is I want to be the knowledgeable guy. I want to be the one that's talking about in-depth strategy and that sort of thing. Like, that's the stuff I enjoy, and I still do. But in order to do that and facilitate it, I need to really do other stuff and try other stuff. That's kind of, like, I have to experiment with those other things so that then I can make more educated statements in general about stuff. Since you don't really care about pack opening, do you think you're going to bank till the Halloween update? That's not a bad idea, Onda. Yeah, I was planning, like dogewhal was saying, I was planning on doing the regular season opening. I probably should, because honestly, from a content, and by the time this goes up, the update will, like this video, the one where this stream, it'll probably already have landed. But, I don't know, I'll think about it offline, because that's actually not a bad idea. I did think of that earlier in the week, and then, like, it straight up slipped out of my head, and I was just like, alright, yeah, we're gonna do the season opener. Because, here's the thing, from a content planning perspective, the pack opening videos typically do the best. Like, the first pack opening video I did, like, way back when not long after the game launched, that did very well. And basically all the Phobies content has kind of, like, fallen off since then, which is fine. Like, you know, it was a big boost at the beginning, and then it kind of fell off. For all we know, we have another whole season for the update. Well, I mean, that would be fine. Then I have 20k coffee to open. And that's the thing, is in big letters, like capital letters, and, you know, enormous font on the thumbnail and in the title, that I go, I opened 20k coffee of the new update. Come see what I got. Like, that video is going to do really well. Or would. You know, a peek behind the curtain for anybody who's curious. Like, people love pack opening videos, and when it's a big content drop like that, it's absolutely going to do better. Maybe if I decide to do the pack opening video Sunday, day after tomorrow, for this season, what I may have to do, because I assume there will be a sale for the new release. They did one around when Full Disclosure came out. So if that is the case, then maybe I just have to buy a bunch of coffee and then help boost the video. The main thing, if you're watching this on YouTube, likes and subscribe. Seriously, I need the subscribers. I want to hit 1,000 subscribers. And let me know what you want to see for content. I have a few videos I want to record offline because a lot of people have said that when they watch the stream, they don't bother watching the stream highlights, which I get it. That would be kind of, if you watch it, great, thank you. But it makes sense. So I got to think of other content to drive people to YouTube because got to make, the number go up. That's basically what it boils down to. But anyway, all that random stuff aside, whoa, somebody else is pinging me in Discord. What's going on? Oh, we'll take a look at those later. Nico Ray saying something big is coming. Really curious. Where did they say that in the announcements or something? I don't see anything in there. Where did they say that? But actually, speaking of Discord, let me look at the highlights. We're going to talk the Rodizio highlight, because we'll do that real quick, and then we'll jump into the a dogewhal replay. This will be a quick thing, but I want to get this up. Jack, get your clip buttons ready. It's the little clapper icon down at the bottom. Finnegan playing some mini. Oh God, Finnegan playing mini golf. Turn 28. All right. There's a misanthrope on the board, chat. DT's gonna have an aneurysm. All right, so I want to look at the replay, and then we'll do a highlight thing. So we got Finnegan all the way at the top. Soon something big will come. Someone asked the Facebook post, is there going to be a new phobie? Ah, okay. Alright, so nothing yet. Did I go to the right turn? Oh, 28. I don't know why I had 23. Oh, bad guy. Okay, maybe not. I do love Finnegan. Little zap action going.
Everybody loves a lot.
Nice. Does this kill it? Just a bunch of damage. That's fair. So they end up here. This was the end of it.
Exquisite.
This isn't necessarily mini golf. It's kind of like ping pong. Not even ping pong. It's a cool boop, though. The Finnegan, there can only be one. It's the Finnegan Highlander play. The Finnegan Highlander play. Not bad, Rodizio. I do love some boops. I never get tired of seeing funny boops. The betrayal. The betrayal, it's true. Alright, chat. Let's take a look at this dogewhal game. Dogewhal had submitted a few games. Alright, so our hero here is dogewhal in the orange trunks. Just had to submit this game. How do you justify losing at level 45 with double-digit level phobies against somebody at 26? Oh, no. They probably did what I did. Or do, typically, and just straight up don't pay attention. No, I didn't play the Phobies in the Abyss. It happens. It happens. I love pack opening video. I like to see you react to new Phobies, think your plans, and how they get to use or how you use them. Fair. Okay, Kraos. it's good to get the feedback on what people like to see and why, because then it drives, okay, well, if I can't do a pack opening video, maybe I can do this other thing that's like it, you know, something like that. So dogewhal here sounds like they're going to be beating up on somebody who's way higher stress level, and look, that happens. That happens. Bad guy here has just a bizarre tactic. It's Droney is fine. Creep, okay, it's a little weird as an opener, but okay. But the bank to 10 so that they can get Snowball and Motherload seems odd at best. Odd at best. I mean, don't get me wrong. Motherload is good. It's just a weird stuttery opening, though. So the cassowary for the Snowball, definitely like it. I'll take that. And then Chuck. Speaking of Chuck, we were talking about this earlier tonight. Chuck versus Heavo 3.0. And the two-toed monster here, looks like he's going to put in some work. This is before I owned Moffin, and it was just 0 steps forward, 27 steps back. So the only bad part here is, yes, you get this, but the creep, unless bad guy does something weird, creep should spit on this, and then, I mean, honestly, bad guy, I don't know, this kind of feels like bad guy is showing off to a degree, because this is the second time in the game already, it's only turn 9, that they banked to 10. I don't think Rocket Man, I mean, we need Luffy to tell us if Rocket Man is a good answer to Chuck. I'm going to go out on a limb and say no. So we do get the creep spit. But the creep is in range of the Chuck, so it's like, okay. You've done that before? Which part, Taco? And we get a Mr. Tramples. I don't know about that positioning on Mr. Tramples. Actually, I get it, because you wanted to just take the north. I don't know if Mr. Tramples is what you want to do that, but... So how are you retaking this middle? Freeze the Chuck. Luffy isn't here to praise Witch for using the Chuck. We'll see if Luffy gets summoned by the hunt in the title. I just played Tramples for now to get points, but Motherload kind of ruined that. Fair point. Fair point. I don't know that I agree with sending the Murder Wing here. You could, I mean, I guess the damage is the damage, but I was going to say, like, you could bait a sheep or use it to threaten the sheep in some meaningful way, because if a sheep comes down here, like, you put it on this abyss, and a sheep comes down to kill it, you just blow up the sheep, right? Paddles! Alright, well, the Murder Wing gets some damage out. And Brony, dogewhal, you monster. So bad guy is once again banked to over 10 keys. Or at least 10 keys, I guess. In this case, 11. Rocket Man is capturing points. I mean, sure. It is, in fact, a thing you can do. It's a thing that can happen. So Tramples is going to rotate. Because the Motherload vacated. Yeah, you just got to keep Chuck safe. If Brony gets hit with the sheep, who cares? But Chuck cannot get hit with the sheep. See, this isn't going to do anything for them. You're just going to kill it and then roll Brony up and deactivate their whole team. Well, maybe not their whole team, but the relevant part of their team. 1, 2, 3. Oh, no, they can hit it with the Leaper Karn. No, they can't hit it with the Leaper Karn because it didn't, it had to move twice. Oh, no. Bad guy, you're in for a bad day. This play is a weird one. you have gone 1, 2, no, you couldn't have. Where was the tramples to start the turn? So what I think you should have done was you chuck, you tramples and charge through, then you move up the stabby and kill it, then you can move the, like, advance the brony, but maybe you were trying to protect the brony? Yeah, because then the Leprechaun just turns it off. I mean, at this point, the brony has basically gotten its ability off because the Motherlode retreated. The Motherlode is effectively not in this game right now. I know that might sound sort of silly, but it's so far back that dogewhal, despite being down on points, feels like they're in complete control of this game. 7 keys left to 5, but I'll take this army over this one. If we're drafting teams, or maybe not drafting teams, but if we're picking teams, I want to sign up for this team. Not this team. This is a little scary, though. Rambolina makes life very complicated, but that Paddles is effectively dead. What's it doing now? Baby, what is you doing? Is this a dead Rambolina? What level is your Chuck? Level 7 and it already does over 500 damage? Wow. Brony getting prepped. I don't know about that Rambolina hit. That felt ambitious. Womp womp. The brony gets tagged anyway. And you gotta do this. It all goes downhill from here. Rainbow versus rainbow. True. I didn't realize that. Didn't realize that. So obviously Clinico's going to eat it. We get a Quagmire to back this up. And then a cat. The cat actually is somewhat problematic just because it can cap points. Is this still deactivated? Yeah, it's still deactivated. It's still got a while on this cooldown. Rocket Man was such a waste. I mean, it's done... It hasn't done much. And by hasn't done much, I mean it hasn't done anything. It's just been the threat of it. So 4-1 Panic Point going the other way. I assume this stat... What? What? Oh no, get the trap. The double trap action. They decide to rush the heart. I mean, yes, but like... The Motherlode was going to die, right? Even without the trap? It would have been better. Obviously, the Motherlode... I don't know if it would have survived, but like... I feel like it would have just died no matter what. Oof, so close. 202 health. .202. Get a little body block action going. And at this point, it doesn't matter. Exactly, you get the bodyguards for the heart lining up. Starro, the Conqueror, has been conquered. Well played, dogewhal, well played. Very patient game, given you were down by so many levels. Look at this creepy-ass brony. This could be the thumbnail of the video. Brony's just creepy. But GG. Well played. Yeah, bad guy made some questionable decisions there throughout the game. They absolutely still could have won. They absolutely still could have won. But... excuse me. I'm tired. They could have been doing the same thing I usually do, which is just... they're doing stuff. They're not, like, really focused. I mean, I've thrown plenty of games, both on stream and off stream, where... I just, you know, I'm just gonna do things. Updating the spreadsheet here. So we'll come back for SilverK's replay later on tonight. Brony be looking like the shadow demon at the end of my bed that appears during the night. What? I mean, that seems appropriate. You would think the shadow demon that lives under your bed would look more like Heartbreaker or something. But Brony... yeah. You did know that? Are you the shadow demon, dogewhal? Did you know that... oh, that. Did you know that Brony was in fact goofy, wacky, and just a little bit silly? Yes. In fact, yes. Oh, it was actually Taco's bed, not Scrungle's bed. Sorry. I looked at the wrong thing. Alright, let's jump back in the arena, chat. Oh, man. We play against in normal? I don't know what you mean, Chris. I don't follow. So I didn't come up with a funny question tonight, chat. I just didn't think of anything. I was having too much fun playing Metal Hellsinger, truthfully. I'm on the last level. I almost beat the game before the stream, and then I died on the final boss. Which kind of sucks, but... oh, we're playing an async? Okay. Well, grats on your free points, because I don't pay any attention to async. I absolutely just... whatever is the quickest thing, like least number of clicks kind of thing, is probably going to be my action for the turn. Me and the boys pulling up to explain why Brony is in fact goofy, wacky, and relatively silly. What? I feel like there's another level to the meme that I'm not getting. As opposed to just describing Brony. Oh, chat, I almost finished my, my repaint on the Shredder figure. I need to paint his armor, because I was debating leaving it gold, but I started to paint it silver, and I think I like it better. I really like the gold when I dyed it, so I put it in black dye in order to get the rest of him black, but it changed the gold to like this really cool looking dark gold. And I don't mind the gold that's on the base figure, but it's a much brighter gold. This is more, I don't want to say like mustard colored, but like mustard copper colored kind of thing, but I can't match it. So this way, because the original figure all is like gauntlets and forearm and shin armor and shoulder and pauldrons are all gold, but then the helmet is like steel colored, silver. So I'm just going to paint them all that color. I forget who I was talking to. I think it was Akune. I was talking to Akune offline. And they're absolutely right. A single mistake and the game ends. And I don't think people necessarily realize how early a mistake or how minor a mistake it can be that immediately costs you the game. Yep, it's Honda. It is in fact Honda. I just saw you putting Jar back and respecting that play and you forgot about it. Yeah, I was talking to chat and I just got distracted. It's one of those streaming mistakes that I haven't mentioned it in a while, actually, now that I think about it, but it happens. Like, I'm gonna lose on stream because I'm not paying attention due to talking to stream, and, like, it happens. Early mistakes end games? Yeah. Like, on the spot, almost. You end up in the same spot. It doesn't matter. Use the same opener? Yeah, that's basically the opener that I do on this map. The one that Onda did. Yeah, I don't think people understand, and that's part of what influences when people talk about, like, tier lists and, you know, whether Phobies need buffs or nerfs or things like that. And I think people forget how easy it is for a single play to just completely change a game. Be careful of Kaboom plays. Yeah, Onda's kind of gotten a thing for them. Onda kind of has a thing for them. Paschetti? Porqué? Why Paschetti, Mosca? Are you saying I should use Paschetti? I mean, I guess it's fine. To disease the Quagmire? I think my Paschetti is like... It's 372. Actually, I might have it might push enough disease to actually get... No, it doesn't. It's 280. 280 disease. That is not good enough. Yes, we would damage the Quagmire, but at what cost? Namely 6 keys, but... Can you disease right out of the gate? Game. This one has a lock. This, you can right off the bat on that. That's interesting. So they could break this block and then bees here, but off the stem, but I highly doubt that. Kill this, and you could break this block, and then, I don't know, I don't think any of that does anything of value. But it's annoying. Is it, though? I mean, it's decreasing the healing, at least in my case, it would decrease the healing to, like, 100 a turn or so. What did I say? It was like 280? It's 280. So 90 or something a turn? Like, it's fine, I guess. We should have the spider up here. As it is, like, I can't threaten this stupid Quagmire. We also should have swung the cat here instead, but it is what it is. So you break this, you come through, so you gotta move. It's the bottom line. Oh, that doesn't help us, though. I want to get a lob online, I'm just not. I was debating what one. Face Bearcat and House Cat in the same day? I wonder if that's somebody with alts. That would actually be funny. You got matched against Kitten Lord. There's a lot of cat names running around, apparently. Oh, God, it's a tractor. This may be the beginning of the end, chat. This may be the beginning of the end. We could do some weird stuff, but I don't know how hard we get punished for this if we do it. Hmm. It's not going to be worth it. A tractor just makes life super complicated. Does someone have a 908 Kitten Lord as a level 14 Maggie? Wow, 908 health cowbell. That's pretty big. I'm really tilted from input delay. That always tilts me, Taco. Honestly, like when I'm trying to do stuff and the game's just like, nah, nah. Problem is, I just don't think we can punish the tractor pull. So I don't think. You break this, move up, yoink here. You have to move it. I don't think... This is another one where I don't think there's enough damage to do this, but it's entirely possible that there is, and as a result, I'm going to get punished for it. But we're going to take a chance here, chat. Gonna take a chance here. You can pull a tractor, maybe. I don't think I have enough damage to get it. So, like, we go up here, we pop this, we move up, we pull it to here. Actually, no, we could have, yeah. Do we have enough damage, though? No, 1100 health. Never mind. I was thinking it was like 900, but this is a level 10 attractor. Not getting it there. Gonna get attracted, repeller the attraction. If only it were that easy.
Exquisite.
13 keys remaining. So, like, we possibly could kill this Jin Sting. I don't know that this is worth it. Because, like, we're gonna get obliterated here, right? It kind of feels like bait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They could spawn 2 phobies. They yoink this here. That hits. This hits. This hits off stims. That's 7, 12. 2,000. It's probably dead. No, they'll only have 5. They'll only have 5, because if I kill the Jin Sting, there will only be 5 on the board. So then they spawn 2. One could be like Ray Chargels, which would be in range. One could be Snowball. It's too late in the turn to even try this, truthfully. If I were to go for it, I would probably only have gotten part of it because of animations, and I didn't want to risk that. We should have moved... Nah, maybe not. I was going to say move the Heavo here, but then it obstructs the Gravedigger from breaking this block, which we'd need to break in order to get the spider through. Because hypothetically, we could kill this, but like that's not realistically going to happen. Because it ends up on the stem. We hit it for 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, maybe. Hey, welcome! Hola! I apologize, I don't know how to say your name. I'm gonna say Sinu, but I don't know how to pronounce that. You're gonna have to correct me. Finally TKO... What? The hell are you talking about, Taco? I have literally no idea what you're talking about. I don't know if this is a meme, or like, you're playing a boxing game, or like, what? You love this game? It's an awesome game. Phobies is a lot of fun. I stream it every week. I got a lot of stuff up on YouTube, but I stream it every week. At least for the majority of my streams. Oh, and Punch Out. Okay, okay. No, we don't want that. I don't really want that either. Double yoinks is really bad. I know, understatement of the year, chat, but... I'm not really clear on what I do here. Is there anything I can even do? My wife loves Quagmire's angry face, really? Oh, when you click on him? Like that one, or the resting Quagmire face? Scritch might be good to kill a tractor with AoE. My Scritch is like level 2, I think. I don't remember. Oh no, we leveled it up to 5. We're gonna need something like that, because I can't... The problem is, unless Onda makes a mistake, they're not gonna let it in range. Hulk if it was slime? True. True. Resting face, gotcha. Hit the bottom robot with the spider. It doesn't do much. Like, I'm only going to do 200 damage to it, and then I'll die in return. Well, I won't die just the cowbell, but they could rotate something. Like, I'm not going to pick it off. So they're splitting the yoinks here, which is interesting. My experience, the best way to kill a tractor is AoE. It's fragile enough that stray hits puts it in range. I'd agree with that. I needed to stage this differently last turn. So I actually need to keep this cowbell alive. Honestly, the reason being is that I need to be able to recap points. Trying to see if there's an angle where this is going to get bad. The attractor should not be able to reach anything. Attractor shouldn't be able to reach anything. Level 14 Cassowary also has 903 health, just for those who need to know. It's important information. Same base HP? Gotcha. I mean, that's why the spreadsheet that the Phobies team provided is so important, is it gives you better information to correlate the relationship between Phobies. Just barely hitting level 10 with my Phobies. I am, for the most part, there now. I'm still, I mean, obviously not all of them. But a bunch of the relevant ones are basically there. There are a couple that are above 10, but it's probably average 10. Game. Oh, 6. So I have 7 Phobies. You break this, you move here, you yoink that, so we gotta back you up. I know this is very exciting for chat. But basically, the first time one of us makes a mistake, it's going to end the game. I'm confident it'll be me, but Klepto could daybreak pull. Yeah, I mean, we could have broke it. God, this is basically what Onda's doing. But it's going to yoink it to here, so, like, you're not going to get enough damage on it to matter. Like, it matters, but not significantly so. Stare down to the sentry, yep. Who's going to blink first? I mean, that's kind of what it's going to come down to. So they're appropriately pulling back the cowbell. Probably, I moved this back here so that it could threaten up here, but that's kind of pointless. What I probably should have done was had it here, so that way it could threaten this break. But that doesn't mean anything, because I have nothing to back it up right now. If they break and pull, Klepto could die, they can't. Yeah, they didn't have enough damage, because they had to move into range with everything, including the spider, so it wouldn't have had the length to get the pull that it needed. I mean, now I have to honor it, at least, I think. So they come here, they pull. I mean, I maybe don't have to. So they come here, they yoink. They can hit it with this, because this is down. This can't get it. If you're here, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, you can't get this. They could send this Heavo across the top. Because the yoink here, they still have to displace something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm a little overcommitted because they can't spawn a phobie, but they could next turn. Don't jinx it, Kraos. The moment that something dies, out comes kaboom. I gotta hope it's one of the poles, because otherwise that kaboom is gonna, like, I'm gonna get yoinked into the kaboom's welcoming arms. Or lack of arms. It's welcoming C4. My eyes are really dry, chat. Feeling scratchy. I'm only up by, like... This is so dumb. 68-15 to 61-10. This is so dumb. So this means a double yoink has potential here. Like, that could happen. They move up, yoink to here. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. Break that up here. Nothing's in range. Like, I just can't quite reach anything. They're waiting for Gravedigger to come back, is basically the game plan here. 1, 2, 3. So they gotta be here. Like, can this die from here? I don't think it can. That's 3, 8, 12. It should not be able to die. Putting the game in their hands. Klepto was safe there. Mavican died. I don't believe so, because that's what I was adding up. This'll hit, and this can hit, but that's it. And then they've committed everything in, and I should be able to AoE stuff down, or, you know, do whatever. This thing needed to move last turn. It was silly to have it positioned where it was. Or not positioned, for that matter. So the question becomes, can I safely trade out my spider? Because I can yoink their spider and kill it. But is that worth it? Okay, never mind. They're not going to let me do it. I can't yoink their spider. Shocker. This is online again. So if you're there, 1, 2, 3, you gotta be here. One, 2, 3, you still have to be here. I think everything is safe. I'm not sure. Henrietta can recap, exactly. That's why I want to hang on to these 1-drops, and I talk about it a lot. Like, keeping the 1-drops alive is relevant. Can I kill Quagmire? I didn't have everything in range at the time. Like, we would have... The spider was here, so it would have had to go 1, 2, yoink. Well, it could have slid down, and, like, it's here. So we rotate with this, this, and maybe this. Wouldn't have enough damage. We basically needed to be in range for multiple attacks from a single thing. Probably 2 or more things. Because it has almost 3k health. Long, stressful game. It is long. That is sure. Stressful? I try not to get stressed playing Phobies. I mean, we're on this losing streak, so it's a little tilting. But, you know, it's a minor losing streak. It was 2 games. Maybe 3 after this. We'll see. Yeah, I was looking for it, Gabe. I was looking for it. Onda's going to be pulling up a tornado with the spider and the attractor. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a very long rope attached to things when it happens. The thing is that Onda is at an enormous advantage because of the double yoink. Although I have the panic point advantage, basically all Onda has to do is avoid my single yoink. I have double, and then if they're ever, like, overlapping... Oh, God, that's a frickin' Leapercarn. Really? Honest to God, I forget this thing exists. Because I have it myself. It's level 1, though. Honest to God, I forget it exists. So, 1, 2, 3, 4... So now we have even more things to be worried about. I'm giving our opponent way too much time, chat. Like, I don't really know what we need to do here, though. Like, maybe they just don't have enough damage to blow up something big. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Who is it? Morbid said it. There was that option there. There was that option there. So the goal here, of course, is for Onda to get the Leapercarn to connect with the spider. We have to do our best to make sure that doesn't happen. They break this, they come here. Like, part of me says, get something big and just dive. But I don't think we can stage in a turn and, like, do enough damage. Like, I don't even know if we kill anything. Maybe the spider, but... Here's where a Brony would be hilarious. You just send the Brony through and, like, psh, turn off your whole team. Current objective, don't taste the rainbow. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I want to threaten that panic point more. Honestly, Morbid, the Leapercarn on the Leapercarn was a thought that went through my head. I'm not even joking. And yeah, Dozer is what I'm thinking, Krayos. Seriously. Get Firkin to disable the Firkin. Should we do it for the memes, chat? Should we do it for the memes? We'll do the Firkin Leprechaun dance. God, the day that you Firkin Leprechaun, a Firkin Leprechaun. I can't believe how many times I have to say that. Firkception. Chats are pushing real hard for the Firkin Leaper. God, I can't even say it. This thing to double up on it. Chat's pushing pretty hard. So you're here. 1, 2, 3. Can't break that. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not gonna lie, chat. I'm considering it. Doja should just win it. More healthy Phobies. There's the only damage thing Onda has is the spider, though. Well, I take that back. There's a little bit of damage here. It's not that big of a deal. I mean, Dozer doesn't sound insane. I'm not gonna lie. Onda currently listening with intent. That's allowed. I don't care. Also, you don't need to until he does something. I mean, that's kind of where it's at, Ginger. Once Onda pressures me into doing something, that's when I was considering it. Like, maybe this turn. The problem is that Onda's going to have something, like, ready to go on the stem. Because, like, we break the block, we yoink the Heavo. We get 1 hit, 2 hits, 3 hits. I don't think that's enough damage. We're going to look at it, but... Oh, no, we can't even do it. Because the spider's out of range. Because it's been trying to dodge the Leprechaun. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we get it here. So I can yoink it from there. Part of me wants to go crush more so we can get another break online, but... my brain is starting to twist of, like, trying to think of, okay, well, if they break this, or they put a block down, and then they do this, and then they chain the poles, and, like... It's getting weird. It's getting weird! And it's not even worth trying to predict, well, if they move these things in this order, because it's like, all the scenarios are so complex that we're just gonna... I gotta wait to see what Onda actually does, as opposed to what the potential likely thing is. I don't think that dies to the hit here, but I'm not sure. I just went in a punch-out fight and lost half my HP? Oh no. What glitch is there? I mean, I'm sure there's a lot, but... If a tractor moves one more down, that's dangerous, so I'm going to rotate the spider back down this turn because we're still trying to dodge the Leapercarn. We're playing this stupid game. This has got to be like turn 35 or so, DT. How long time-wise? Who knows? Okay, so... Onda has relieved pressure on their heart. Morty on Quag? It's not going to do enough. Right now, anyway. I mean, if Quagmire comes in, that is an option, but right now it still has 2100 health, that we would just lose the Morty when he punches it back. Because I wouldn't be able to threaten the kill on Quagmire. Well, I take that back. I possibly could. You know, so I Morty here. This is now at, instead of 21, takes like 800 or 900. It would probably die if it stayed to kill it. There's a code in Punch-Out that takes your HP as soon as a round starts. I don't know what that means. Can kill it? Well, if the Quagmire stays, I can get it, yes. So maybe it was worth, like, baiting with the Morty. It would be an even key trade, so it's not bad, but... what do we do here? Yeah, my Morty is at 889. So you break this, this moves up, can't reach, that's fine. If it was here, we don't want to do that. Leapercarn can't reach the spider, although the spider's, like, out of range of anything valuable it could be doing anyway, so I don't know. Willing to win with 9 keys in the bank. Whatever you got to do to get the W. Whatever's necessary. And in this particular case, what seems to be necessary is banking 9 keys. Although that really has nothing to do with it. I don't know what other phobia I'd commit that breaks this board open. I mean, a Dozer legitimately... Dozer or High Five or Barzilla. Barzilla's actually higher HP. But... one of those could be big enough that it survives a round of attacks, and that's all I need it to do. Because it, positionally, it would bully Onda back if they can't kill it. Well, the Scritch doesn't work right now. Barzilica's the 2 movement. I can see it. Just pop High Five and start Rush at Heart. The thought has crossed my mind, believe me. It has absolutely crossed my mind. So if I advance, because I could yoink either of these, I can't kill them. And then they blow this up, a tractor our whole team in, and we probably throw super hard from there. Because right now, Onda's locked at 7 Phobies. They have to commit something of relevance to a panic point in order for... and allow me to beat it up, possibly kill it. Probably kill it. And until then, I don't really have a need, strategically, to do anything. You know what I mean? There's an argument to more aggressively position the spider. Because as soon as I use the spider, or it's incapacitated in some fashion, the game is in the bag for Onda, I think. First feint south, so they expose north. I mean, we're getting that right now, DT. But I don't think a phobie that's going to take, what, let's assume it went as a cross. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It'll take 2 turns just across the map. It's going to take a while. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if this goes here, it gets the spider. Is this risky? You break this block. Doesn't matter. 1, 2, 3. Like, nothing's in range of this now. The problem with the free hit on the Firkin is... Actually, there is no problem with the free hit on the Firkin. This is out of range. Right? Because this can't hit. If you break this... 1, 2, 3... Yeah. Sack all of the phobies for the last hit on the heart. I think this is okay. Maybe let Spider get hit as bait to kill the Firkin, bop those out to fight, and then maybe try and go when they pull down. Maybe. The problem is if the Spider gets hit at all, given the way they're set up, it just dies. And that's the big issue, is a lot of these things will just straight up die if I allow anything to get touched. They'll effectively get one-tapped. That's relevant. Like, that's pretty relevant. How long does it do it for? 4 turns? Yeah. But that means this is down, so the spider is now free to be more aggressive. Well, somewhat more aggressive. At least the spider's freed up now? Yeah, exactly. Although they undid it, which I can understand. This might have been a mistake, because I knew I was going to take this hit here, but I thought, oh, well, I can pop it with something just to soften it up, but I don't know if that's worth it. I'm still legit considering high 5. Spider gets hit by lepers, so they try to do something. Maybe. I don't know. I just want to see something. Game, please. I have to do it to see the thing I want to see. Game! Oh my god. Or, like, we might be able to kill this, but then we get yoinked. We're doing it, chat. We're doing it. There's the yoink. This could still get very bad. Because of this. This might have been a colossal throw, chat. I'm not gonna lie. It lives. Oh no, there was another attack. I think this was a throw, chat. High five did in fact make it to the heart. High five can't be stopped? I mean, come on. Let's not be ridiculous here. Pull is down, though. Pull is down, though. I think I'm gonna come up just short, chat. In real talk. I'm not counting it up, but I think I'm gonna come up just short. This is a very, very silly game. I don't think they have the damage to kill high five. I mean, I don't think you're wrong, because the Temptress had to be the thing that killed Heavo. You have 1,000 on attack? Fair. Fair. How about that high five, chat? How about that high five? GG, well played, Honda. How many turns was that game? How many turns was that freaking game? Oh my god, I have to take a break after that one, chat. I gotta relax my brain. 48 turns! Jesus! Mary and Joseph! The Leapercarn made the game super weird. So if the tables return, my mistake is not Firkin the Gravedigger. Honestly, I mean, if you did, I don't know how much of a difference it made. I think it just delays the game. Like, I obviously wouldn't have gone for a high five then. I think it just elongates the game. My game plan initially was I was going to do nothing. You had to commit something because I had the panic point advantage, and that's what I was going to say a moment ago, is that Onda needed to, and Onda, feel free to give me your opinion, like, how did you see things from your side, because this is important to go through this stuff. Because you were maxed on Phobies, you had to commit something of relevance, and I was going to kill it, replace with the cowbell, and then I had more keys. If the positions were flipped and you had panic point advantage, there was no way I could win. I was just trying to Firkin your Innocuous can double hit. You mean the spider? I think Temptress is not necessary. I don't know that any other 4-key kills it, because you needed like 800 damage. Then I have High Five and Heavo on your heart. And everything's clustered. Like, if they only have 4 keys left, so Onda had to find a way to deal like 800 damage with solely 4 keys. I guess it was only like 500 damage because the attractor still had that attack. So maybe like a snowball might have done it. I don't remember if Onda used snowball. But if it was snowball, then snowball absolutely doesn't do anything. Like the follow-up turn, I mean. They didn't have enough keys for something like Stairmaster or something, which would have been threatening, but definitely wouldn't have burned down the High Five in time. Working your Gravedigger so your Innocuous can't double hit because of Gravedigger no ability. And take middle panic point with Quagmire. Oh, I see what you're saying. I think I could kill the Quagmire, though. I don't know if my spider was in position to reach the center. I think it actually was too far. Maybe I couldn't have killed the Quagmire. I don't know if I had 3k damage without exposing something. Because I could have popped something out from the vault to push damage, so say a Stairmaster, and then just kind of concave around it. This isn't... I mean, I guess this is a concave, depending on how you look at it, but...
More turns to take.
Shut up.
Let's make them ache.
Do I have Brony? No. I was talking about that during the game, that if I had Brony, I absolutely would have put Brony out there. Presumably before the Leaper card, but... Brony would have been really funny, because... Well... It would have been a challenge to get it to connect, but it absolutely would have, you know, kind of pushed you around for obvious reasons. Let's normalize Phobies getting affected by frickin' Leprechaun Furked. Fair. Fair. Alright, chat, we're back. Oh, come on. Onda's beaten me before, and on stream. Onda's beaten me before. It's definitely happened. I am absolutely not... I like to think that I'm very good at Phobies. Am I the best player? No. I make too many mistakes for that. I think I could be, which is good enough for me. Like, if I... It sounds weird. That sounds like a weird nursery rhyme or something. If I put in the effort, I truthfully believe, and this is not trying to be arrogant or something, but I think I could be the best player in the game. But I also have a goal for the stream, and I don't think, like, me try-harding it is necessarily the most entertaining thing. I think it's better if we're all having fun. So hopefully everybody's having fun. YouTube, let me know. Likes and subscribes, blah, blah, blah. But, chat, we do have something important to talk about. So we're switching gears here. I'm a little sparkly once again, but it's important to bring this up. United States elections are coming up this year. And again, it is not just for federal positions. It's not just for state positions, although there are a number of those. It can be your local positions. All the way up and down the gamut for different positions for elected officials. And they are supposed to be working for us, the citizens. And it's important that you hold your elected officials accountable. Part of that is if they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, get them the hell out of office. The rub here is that the vast majority of the Republican Party is a clear and present threat, both literal and existential threat to the United States and, well, truthfully, the rest of the planet. They're filled with lunatics, and they are hell-bent on stripping rights from minorities, from women, and just generally abusing power across the board to turn this into a theocratic nightmare. That's the bottom line, and if you don't believe me, I think you just have to do a little searching. So, I want everybody out there to vote. You need to go, if you can vote, vote. If you are not registered to vote and you can get registered, go get registered. This is crucial. You have to vote. It's important. Research your candidates. Find out what their actual stances are. What are they going to do when they get into office? Part 2, as I always bring up, if you have the opportunity to donate to any charities, it could be something here. It could be something local. It could be something national, or it could be something international. There are tons of causes that absolutely need help, whether it's still the insane flooding that's going on in Pakistan, whether it's the war in Ukraine, or it could be back here in the United States. There's a variety of things that need support, and if you are able, please help. Every little bit counts. It really does. Even if you just start getting yourself in the habit of, well, you can't donate millions of dollars. I know I can't. I don't have that. I never did. So if I can't do that, well, what can I do? Even if it's just a couple bucks here and there, even if it's some canned food to somewhere, if it's a donation of clothing, whatever. Helping someone else, helping out other humans is, aside from just being a good thing, I'm not trying to give you the whole spiel, but you'll feel warm and fuzzy inside and you'll feel great about it. No, it's important to do for the sake of doing it. And once you do it a few times, you do get into the habit of seeing things and saying, you know what? I can do something. Can't do everything, but do something. That's what I got this time. But yeah, I do bring that stuff up. I know people are probably sick of it. I am, as I've said before, I know a lot of channels avoid it. And if you don't like it, I absolutely understand. I'm still going to do it. Sorry. That's what I'm going to do. I feel like I have a very small platform. I'm not reaching thousands of people, millions of people. It was kind of a jump because I could have said tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands in between, but you get the idea. But I'm hoping that I'm, sad as it sounds, influencing enough people that I can actually have a positive impact. So, actually donate some of your old little baby clothes to Ukraine, so that's cool. That's great. That's good to hear. They definitely need it. They definitely need it because there are, war is hell. But that doesn't mean that there aren't still moms and babies. But I hope that I'm helping to some degree. And if I'm not, and people feel like I'm saying something that I shouldn't, call me out on it. I'm okay with that because I'm not going to be perfect. I still got to improve, not just at Phobies, but as a person. So the notes for this one on Xylo with our hero SilverK in the blue trunks is aliens everywhere. Also, I could have killed 2 8-drops if I had the damage. Table flip. So SilverK is opening with a bizarre opener here with the Finnegan. But we do love some boopage. We saw some of those earlier. I listened to, I've done, nice, Doc. That's good to hear. I love hearing about donations. I do have to look up, hold on, I'll pause this because I want to give the game its due. I do have to look up because Twitch just recently added on the back end for streamers that you can choose some of the charities. I don't know how it works. I got to research it and see, like, okay, well, if somebody subs, does some of the money go to the charity? Because realistically, I've talked about this before. I would love to make streaming a full-time job. It is straight up not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Could I make it a part-time job? Probably also not going to happen. So, don't take this the wrong way. I love everybody who subscribes. Thank you for the subscribes. If you're on YouTube, subscribes are free. But I'm talking about Twitch subscribers. If you subscribe, great. I will happily have subscribers. And I would love more. But nobody should ever feel obligated to subscribe. If you want to hang out and just hang out, great. If you want to show up and just shit talk me, all right, cool. Doc does that most of the time. And there's a few others that show up to give me a hard time. But if the money that you would be spending to subscribe is better utilized elsewhere, yeah. In all these cases, I mean, there are tons of things. And far be it from me for somebody to say, like, what you spend your money on. But there's a reason that I said all of those things just a few moments ago about donations and charitable causes and things like that. Now, my opinion, not to get too far into it, but it is, I'm talking about the United States because that's where I live, but it's the United States government's problem to make it so that charities are not necessary. Now, will that ever actually happen? Probably not. And plus, internationally, it gets really complex because other governments, and I feel like other ones should be doing that too. But until such time that we all live in paradise and that we don't have to worry about this stuff, charities are going to be a thing. and that we're going to have to, like, this is the way to help people until the better situation happens. But anyway, let's get on with this particular breakdown. So SilverK here, we'll see what the aliens do on the... I actually... This is also somewhat off topic, but has anybody seen the movie Nope? So I was curious about it because I've been wanting to watch it, and I said, you know what, I'm never going to get around to watching it. Because I just... There isn't enough... Or there aren't enough hours for me to watch everything that I want to watch, which right now is actually a surprising number of things. And so I read the plot synopsis. And plus, I don't know if I actually have any avenue to watch the movie. So I read the plot synopsis. It is weird. I absolutely do not think I would be scared by that movie. I don't know. If anybody out there has seen Nope and you were scared by it, tell me. Like, is it actually scary, or were you just shocked, or what? I'm not going to spoil it. But anyway, we get the Gravedigger here. For me, I prefer Mount Crushmore because it's just better than Gravedigger for a variety of reasons on this map. You can all imagine why. But breaking this block here, or breaking a number of blocks in the center to give you more flexibility, is interesting, but it's not... I don't know. It hasn't really paid off for me. I keep hearing about it, but I don't know what it's about. It's a horror film. I don't want to spoil too much in case you actually want to go see it, or if anybody else is planning on seeing it and hasn't yet. But it's a horror film. And it supposedly was pretty good, but, like, I don't know, maybe it's... And I mentioned before, I will still try and see it. It's just, I know that it's not going to happen for a very long time, so... I've seen trailers, but that's it so far. I saw the trailers, but the trailers, based on what I read, don't give you, like, any information. Like, at all. Unless there's a much longer one that I don't know about, but, like, there's no way that it... At least I wouldn't guess it. But being a Jordan Peele movie is enough for me to want to watch it. Exactly. Like, everything I've heard about all of Jordan Peele's movies are great. So I do want to watch it, but oh, baby, there's a heartbreaker. There's a heartbreaker. That kind of brought me back in. That brought me back in. So anyway, Innocuous here. I like Innocuous on this map. Obviously, especially with this broken, you can cover, because from here, you are completely safe from just about everything, and you can just take pot shots at the center. Bachelor actually lives to tell the tale. Honestly, I think bad guys should have killed the Bachelor. You kill the Bachelor so that way they can't just recap this when you send Cat in, because now you're going to have to sink another one key in. Heavo 2.0 comes out to play. The problem is that this is going to get very dense very quickly. This is going to get very dense very quickly because Heartbreakers just go... Whoa. This is a level 10 Innocuous. 508 damage. Whew. Yeah, that's exactly it, Scrungle. That's why it was somewhat on topic. So there goes the cat, as mentioned. The reason I was talking about the density, it's just the clustering of Phobies trying to avoid this Heartbreaker. For example, like, this Gravedigger's just dead if they want it. But the reality is they're not going to go in because of the spider. So instead of doing it with a 1 key, waiting a little bit longer, our bad guy is actually going to do this with a cassowary. And then their own spider. I get the Ray Chargels. What level is this? It's a level 10 Ray. I accidentally clicked off of this. Oh, excuse me. Everything's level 10. Jeez. It's a pretty high level game. Yeah, I actually read a whole bunch of movie synopses lately, chat. There were a number of things that I was curious about, and I just don't think I'm going to get on the few streaming services I have. I don't even know where the hell... I guess I could... Like, I'd have to go to Amazon or something. I don't even know where you would buy a movie anymore. It's Walmart. But Walmart's not necessarily going to have, like... the selection of things that I'd be looking for. This is weird. So we get a replacement on this, I guess, to block the line of sight? From the Heartbreaker? That's really odd. I don't know. What movies have you seen lately, chat, that you liked? Or what are you looking forward to? I've been watching a bunch of... We'll talk about it after the game, but I've been watching a bunch of shows lately that it's part of the reason why I'm running out of hours, because I just can't, there aren't enough hours in the day to watch everything. We're gonna get a dead unicorn here. I don't know, like, what did this unicorn even do? It killed the one drop? Bad guy seems to just be hemorrhaging... This feels like it's the wrong game. We've only seen... Because the notes were aliens everywhere. But we've only seen one Inoculus. Like, did I pick the wrong game? If I did, we'll go find the right game. I mean, this is the right opponent. Unless with their... They have 10 keys remaining, so there could be another 8 drop that's coming down, because SilverK mentioned that they could have killed 2 8 drops. A juiced spider. Oh, this is a cool play! Hold on. Look at this. This is a spider on speed. This is your spider. This is your spider on drugs. Look at this. Just sliding up. This is... You ever see a wolf spider? And it just... right across the floor? That's what just happened. And that spider led to a dead opposing spider. It's a little exaggerated. Okay, Silver. This is still a cool play. I mean, it could have been, when you said aliens everywhere, I didn't think, when I read it aloud, that it was going to necessarily be ironic, but it could have been. I need paddles. Paddles just looks like fun. Like, that was hilarious. I mean, yes, you traded spiders, but, like, come on. You're going to come out ahead because your opponent had to commit into you in order to make this happen. Wolf spiders are common where I live. They're pretty common around here. I didn't... Oh, chat. I got a story for you. I got a story for you. I'll tell you this... Hold on. I got to write this down. I have a spider story that I'll tell you after this. Do we get a Graylien? Okay, there are aliens coming out. Oh no! The laser beams! This is actually somewhat dangerous because this beauty could invade. This Heartbreaker has done literally nothing, right? It's done about as close to nothing as you could possibly do. Ooh, you love that boop. Oh my god. Hold on, chat. This is from the same game as the spider? Boop.
Just the pits.
That is great. I gotta look at this again. Hold on. This is the same game as the spider play, and we get this amazing boop. That Heartbreaker has done nothing, and it never will again. It's just falling forever in the abyss. Get a little boopage. Boop. Oh my god, chat, we're getting... Chat, look at this whole turn! Chat, I'm gonna clip this whole turn. This whole turn is clippable. Look at this. We get a boop onto a Heartbreaker who's done nothing, by the way. Just boops right into the abyss. But that's not all. That's not all we're getting. We get the reposition here from Graylien. Get a little switcher U action in order to snipe this Ray Chargels. Chat, this turn was absolutely busted. A massacre is right! That man has a family! What are you doing, SilverK? Graylien is tanky to take beauty. Yeah, Graylien's tanky. I mean, it ends up dead, but, like, still. It took a lot of effort. Did you really, really love the Bay film, Scrungle? As a big Transformers fan, we could have a long conversation about that. SilverK's demon timing. SilverK is just going ham. It's kicking ass and taking names. Wait, you can target this? Time out. Why can you target this? Is it just you can't break obstacles if something's on it? I know you can't target it if with like Gravedigger break. If I had more damage on paddles, I could have killed Beauty. That is just busted. It is the obstacle, but like you can't, if you have a flyer over an obstacle, like a statue, you can't break it with Crushmore or Gravedigger. But you can apparently shoot it, which maybe I knew and I'm forgetting. Like I'm confusing the two. I don't know. Some of those plays I forget. To be fair, the first one, for the most part, is pretty solid. You can target their on. Okay. How many activations has Paddle gotten? He just straight up runs out of there and goes, nope. Stop me. Look at this. 5-0 panic point advantage. You love to see it. Bad guy had no idea what was about to happen to them on any of those turns. Like, no chance. There's just no shot. Well played, Silver. This was a cool game. This was a cool game. Why you gotta do them like that? GG. Well played. That was really well played. There was some cool stuff there. Yeah, that one, there's a reason I wanted to clip those plays. Because those are absolutely going to end up on a highlight reel. Like, I'll do my YouTube short TikTok thing. Anyway, what do we got next on the list? I want to do, like, one more game review tonight. I don't know how many we'll get to tomorrow. I want to have... You know what? We probably have to do at least 2 tomorrow. The reason I say that is... If we don't, I don't think we're going to have enough time. I think 5 is probably the most that I can get to on Sunday, given the pack opening. He just likes to see me get my ass kicked, Krayos. He likes to laugh at me when I'm playing Hunt. I mean, maybe we'll do a little more Phobies, and then maybe I'll do a late night stream. I don't know. We'll see. I'm feeling kind of good, chat. I'm feeling kind of good. We'll do a game review, and then we'll see how it goes. You know what we didn't do tonight that we absolutely will be doing tomorrow is I need to do more. I need to do another high-level game breakdown. If you're watching this on YouTube, let me know how you feel about the high-level game breakdowns when I take a look at top 10 players playing other top 10 players and try and actually like really delve into what's their thought process, look for new strategies, because it seems like a lot of those game breakdowns, I do get positive feedback about it, and shout out to everybody that gives me that. But they don't seem nearly as popular as these long streams where it's just people listening to the stream like it's a podcast. Alright, I think it's this game. Vile Vortis, number 11. Our hero here is Hypereat. So this, as I was just talking about the high-level game breakdowns, we're not going to, pull this one out, but this is absolutely a high-level game breakdown. I don't know what Hypereat is offhand. If chat knows, let me know. I think Dio here is ranked number 1 right now on the arena ladder. I'm not sure. Just an all-out, brutal, epic fight are the notes from our hero, Hypereat. So we'll see how they do. Yeah, I don't really tilt. I mean, I tilt at Hunt and stuff, but I don't think I tilt as bad. I think it's funnier for the most part, and if I start tilting, I just stop playing. So we get the usual opener, one drop plus Snowball. The difference here is Hypereat went Murder Wing plus Snowball. This is a slight deviation from what I typically do, which is 1 drop Cassowary Snowball. Because then the Cassowary can serve the function of the Murder Wing. Meatball plus Fireball is a cooked Snowball, or Cassowary plus Fireball is a dead Snowball. This is interesting because I prefer the 1 drop because then you get a little more map control, but this chews up the same amount of keys. We'll have to see. Right now, Dios and Hyper are 1 and 2 in the arena at the time of this recording. Thank you, DT. Get a little beatdown going down here. Free hits onto this. This isn't a dead Snowball, is it? Oh, it lives by 2 health? Wow. It can't even run to the healing spot because... Is it worth sending in, say, the Heavo in order to kill the Snowball? I have to imagine that it is. This is a cool play. This is a cool play. So I'm rewinding it so people can see. The reason this is a cool play is it's a minor positional advantage. Because you get rid of this Bachelor. Yes, you take the damage. Yes, of course, Dios can just lay into the Heavo with their own. But it prevents the Heavo from getting pulled out of the position that you want it in. Clearly, Hypereat wants it there, and that's why that they didn't immediately run the Snowball down. Would it have mattered? I mean, honestly, it might have been better if the Heavo had gotten pulled out of position, because then it couldn't have gotten hit by this Jin Sting. But it was clearly intentional, so that's why I wanted to call attention to it. So, Red Jin Sting, Hematic Jin Sting is the follow-up here from Dios. Get a little bees going. This healing spa has put in a lot of work. Unfortunately, I think this Snowball is just going to eat it to the opposing Snowball for effectively freezies, 464. Yeah, it's going to die to the fire unless Dios does something weird. But they do get a Jin Sting for their effort, Hypereat's effort. That's actually pretty cool. And it's going to pull something... Well, it won't pull it out of position for all the reasons we just said. Like, Snowball probably kills Snowball, and then you're trading Jin Sting for Snowball. Seems okay. But you're not quite doing just that, because you're losing the Murder Wing. Which I feel like I said, or maybe I didn't. I definitely thought it. Believe me. What's going on up here? So down goes the good boy. Rip. All dogs go to heaven. All dogs go to heaven. So we're just getting a little bit... This is a 3-2 panic point advantage. Just getting some jockeying for position here. Some stray shots going down on this Jin Sting. There isn't really enough to threaten anything here. 2,400 health, 2,600 health. The Jin Sting's just got to get the hell out. And even then, it might not live. Ooh, we get a boss. Oh, baby. Might as well throw it out there while we're watching the players reposition. Likes and subscribes help. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, but if you want to get your own game reviewed, hit up the Random Thoughts Discord. Links will be in the description. Or, of course, you can come by the live stream and see the bosses on either side, I guess, squaring off with each other in real time. Well, maybe not really, because I don't have boss. Most of my opponents don't. But you might see it on a replay. I don't know. That segue was awful. It was just awful. Alright, so we got a Gonzo here. I've talked about it before. Gonzo, pretty solid on this map. Pretty solid. The Clinico is interesting. I get why, because you can never get... This Jin Sting will never get on the healing spot and live. It'll just die to a dive. The question is Dios going to go in with her own boss? I've talked about on many occasions for this map, there's a lot of clustering that tends to happen. And it can be difficult to juggle everything where you need it to be. Oh, wait, it wasn't a 3-2 panic point advantage before, was it? Wasn't this... I thought this panic point down here was orange. Maybe... Or no, it was these three? So it's 3-1? Huh. I could have sworn this got taken, but I was wrong. The Moly Bully play here is interesting. Motherload is the final phobie for Hypereat. Gotta do it with what you got on the board, and honestly, this army is pretty solid. It's pretty strong, but that's not to say that Dios is not in a strong position themselves. I mean, at some point, Boss is gonna go in juiced by Gonzo, and it's gonna be a catastrophe. So we're going to get the Yoink here. I really like Spider. I mean, Spider Moffat is just really good on a lot of maps, but here it's especially good. Get the panic point advantage going once again. Dead Heavo. Now, you're clustered, of course, for their boss, but at this point... Let's freeze frame this for a second. You juice boss, boss goes in, gets a big splash, but it's only going to be like 3 unless you go up here and hit the spider, and then it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you're in range of getting annihilated by everything. This is actually seems like it's kind of hard to commit into. That was a strong pick. Alright, so we are going to see the boss. Where is it going to land? It is going on the spider. That is a lot of damage, though. That's like 1,000 damage. 852 and then 284 every turn. It's a lot of damage. Stabby goes down, but doesn't really get the Yoink because of the Cassowary body blocking. And Eternal Night is the final phobie for our blue player. Alright, so Spider's gotta die here, right? Spider lives? 200 health, level 11, fair. I mean, that makes sense. If you're gonna... You have to commit in at some point as a blue player, and if you're gonna do it, you might as well do it there. Bam! So you do that second because the ability from boss has more fire damage. A lot of things are gonna go down to the fire here, but look at this. Setting all this up beautifully, so a bunch of things... We're gonna get a bunch of tombstones, or not. I was gonna say we're gonna get a bunch of tombstones, but I guess that wouldn't have died to the fire. The spider leaves instead of fighting. This potentially could get bad. Because our blue player's boss is still pretty healthy. Four phobies to 5, though, and one of them is Spider and... Oh, no, Panic Point Advantage is blue, so that is something going in their favor. The Gonzo positioning is interesting. Because you can just yoink this. I don't quite understand the Gonzo positioning. The boss doesn't even really have to... Now the boss is going to heal... The pick on the Heavo, I think, was the game. It was an elimination of an important phobie, as well as the positional advantage, where you couldn't really commit in without basically this happening. I love boss's attack animation. Boss just looks cool. It's such a cool phobie. At this point, we're just picking stuff off. Hey, Roxwan, what's good? But this goes back to, and I'll talk about this more after the game, but I was talking about it earlier, both in the Onda game, when I played Onda, and in other parts of the stream, where phobies is really about, because it's a deterministic game, a single mistake can absolutely cost you a game. And it wasn't even necessarily like, it could be a major thing. Obviously, you know, you get something major yoinked into an abyss or something like that, and it's like, oh yeah, that's the game. But even something minor can lead to changing the course of a game. At this point, we're just kind of chasing everything down and skipping ahead. Boss with a big underhand throw. GG, well played, Hyper. I kind of want to look back at that turn, and it'll help elucidate my point. So we'll get to the turn, and then I'll talk about it. Was it here? No. I think it was this next turn. Yeah. So we'll let this play from here. I think this set of turns is what decided the game. And I've mentioned it, I mean, I alluded to it earlier, but here's the thing. Phobies is a deterministic game, meaning that there's no variance. You could argue there's variance in stress levels, player levels, that sort of thing, and therefore phobia levels. But it's not like a card game where, well, I might just not see certain cards. I might just not see certain things. And as a result, once you get to certain board states, everybody, air quotes, can see where it's going to go. And at this point, like, and yes, somebody could make a mistake. But if you assume the players are paying attention and they're good players, it's not likely that they're going to make an egregious error that allows their opponent to get back in the game. And that's not bad. In fact, people like me enjoy that sort of thing. But it can be discouraging when you make a minor mistake early in the game and lose a 1 key that you shouldn't have, or you take damage on something that you shouldn't have. And it doesn't necessarily have to be early in the game. It could be late in the game, it could be in the middle, it could be at different stages. And the game effectively ended on, like, turn 3. And I've talked about this a lot before. The games tend to end way earlier than you might think. In a lot of games, when you're talking about super high-level players that know what they're doing, they're prepared for a lot of the plays, and then it's just when board states like this happen where it gets super complex, so many things going on. Like, look at this board state. You pass turn to your opponent with this lineup, a 2200 health Heavo. One of two things is probably going through Dios's head. Because I did this earlier tonight. Either there's no way they can kill it. Like, they're just not getting it. They're not dealing 2200 damage. Or, if they do, I can punish them. The problem is as we see, the way this turn plays out, you effectively lose the Heavo for free. Like, yes, there is a counterattack. There's a bunch of stuff that goes down. But saying you lose it for free is not a good comparison. But hopefully I'm explaining the point properly, that you lose a major asset in the Heavo, and then from there, you have to commit in order to quote-unquote punish the advance in such an overextended way that it effectively costs you the game. Now, by the same token, you can't pull back, because how are you going to defeat this force who now has gotten a panic point advantage? So you'd have to commit into them anyway later on. If you pull back, there's no way to, like, really stage it. You don't have a spider, you don't have a tractor, you don't have something that's really great at diving. I mean, I guess Gonzo plus boss. So you just kind of have to go for it at this point. So I don't really disagree with Dios's line here. It's just that seemingly minor positional error resulted in a big swing as to how the game turned out. Like, the game was pretty even up to that point. And it just, as mentioned, it just takes a single error, a single mistake at any level, but especially when you're talking about people at this level. As DT pointed out, we're talking number 1 and number 2 on the ladder. These players know what they're doing. But they're human, so of course they're going to make mistakes. And It happens. That's why I personally have always felt this way, and I still feel this way, that I prefer the more deterministic games. Whether it's card games, whether it's stuff like Phobies or other stuff where it minimizes to whatever extent possible the impact of factors outside your control. In Phobies, as mentioned, we have stress levels, we have phobia levels, but then it's just the phobie does what the phobie does what the phobie does. It's not a card game where, oh, well, some games I may just never see certain phobies. Like all my 1-drops are at the bottom of my deck, so I can't play Cowbells and Razor Claws this game. All I drew was my high 5 and my Heavo 3.0s. So I guess, I don't do anything for the first 5 turns. Minimizing the variance, I think, is a goal that more games should go for. However, that is my opinion. I like that. Most people, shut up, Libby. Now is not the time. Most people, whether they admit it or not, prefer the variance aspect because it leads to varied gameplay. I mean, it's right there in the word. It's not just variance as another word for luck. It's variance in what the board states. And yes, in card games, you build decks to do roughly the same game plan, game in and game out. But most people complain when the ladder or a tournament scene is stagnant because the same decks show up. You see people complaining about it in Phobies as well, where, oh, well, there's too many stabby openers, or every time I zone into this map, this is exactly what my opponents do. I keep seeing all of the same 1, 2, and 3 drops. And I get it. I just don't personally have a problem with it. It doesn't bother me that much. But that's my brief rant towards the end of the stream. I'm going to close up shop for the Phobies portion of the stream. I might hang out for some Hunt. I'm going to get up for a few minutes, stretch my legs a little bit, cool off a little bit. We'll see. I might play a little bit of Hunt. We'll play it by ear. I don't know. I might go upstairs and go, yeah, I'm too tired. We'll see how it goes. But for now, like I said, that's going to do it for the Phobies section. So as always, everybody, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And Black Lives Matter.